Well, now I want to introduce Kurt Butcher. Kurt is going to show us how to build cheap switch machines. So, Kurt, welcome.
Hello, everybody. I just want to see how this is going to focus in here. Um, okay, yeah, there it is. Okay. Now, what I have, I need a bigger picture here. You guys can get it. What I have here is
There you go.
there we go. Okay, a double pole, double throw toggle switch. You see a lot of those on older layouts, and they have a nice, about a 20, anywhere from an 18 to 20 degree swing on them. And what I wanted to do is try to come up with a way to use it to build a switch machine, a non-motorized switch machine. I got the idea of tearing apart switch machines. I tore apart or I inspected a Blue Point switch machine, which is similar to what they have inside a Blue Point switch machine. But I wanted to build these without having the same expense because I have quite a number of turnouts on my layout. And most of the layout, all the layouts have been secured to the layout. So I didn't want to go drilling holes underneath and build them underneath. So, well, anyhow, in order to do this, I need to build some kind of a linkage to connect to it. And first off, what I found was some vinyl tubing. It's clear vinyl tubing. I cut them to about 1.75 inches long, and I slide them over the tip of the turnout. Now, if you notice, it'll spin. I left a spade connector on there, and later on I'll explain to you what I do with the spade connector. But it spins, and then what I do is I found a way to build the throw handle with a coat hanger. And I bend the coat hanger over and drill a hole in the vinyl tubing. I use a X-Acto knife to drill the hole because this stuff is real. It's kind of springy, kind of spongy, and you don't want to go drilling directly into it because the drill wants to slide off. So you just poke it with your X-Acto and keep spinning your X-Acto, and then you just turn around the other side and drill the other side of it. And what I came up with, I built a display model. This way I wouldn't have to go crawling onto the layout, and you can actually see how this works. And I've got the coat hanger hooked to it, and the switch works like that. And if I show you on this side here, you can see how it works. Now it's got a nice load on the point rails, so you won't lose any contact with the point rails. So often that happens if you don't have enough of a load on the point rail, then you got to clean them, and this eliminates that problem. I haven't had to clean any of them since I've been using this turnout, this type of switch machine. When I started to build it, I think there is some geometry to it. If you notice right here, it's about 1/2 inch long, which is about two rails or two ties long, and you want it that long so you can get the right geometry of a load on your throw music wire. And I've had them on the layout for a couple of years now, and I haven't had one fail. I haven't had any of them not work, except I had one that I didn't have mounted right. I just remounted it, and now it works fine. But you can see the materials I use are very limited. I use the vinyl tubing is 3/16 inner diameter and 5/16 outer diameter, and this stuff you can buy by the foot. I was in a hurry, so I went and bought a whole roll of it. The roll was $7. So I mean, that's like a lifetime supply. You'd have to have a really big layout to use all that. And the angle iron, you can buy different size angle iron. I like to use the bigger piece, which is It's about 1/8 inch thick and 2 inches angle iron. It's just aluminum angle iron. You cut it with a hacksaw. But if you want to save yourself about $10 because you're buying a 4-foot section of it, and you can buy the 1/16 by 1 and 1 and 1 and 1/2. It comes in 4-foot lengths. So anyhow, the smaller pieces a lot easier to drill because it's thinner. So oh, okay. The wiring I'm using, this is 47 thousandths, the wiring for the linkage, and I use for the tubing that goes down through the roadbed. If you can see it right here. Yeah, there it is right there. Right there. The tubing is 2 millimeter by 0.225 millimeter. It comes in KS makes it. So you can see that. And the reason I use the 47th is it's a little tougher to deal with because it's a little thicker, but it gives you the right amount of tension you need to hold the point rails over. Also, if you want to put a knob on it, I used a much fancier knob, but you could save some money and just buy some doweling, some 1/2 inch doweling, cut them in shorter pieces, and then drill holes in them. The coat hangers themselves. Let's see what I do with that piece here. Gotta find it here. Okay, the coat hangers. What I do is I cut a piece off the length you need, and I use a 436 die, and if you can see that, yeah, there it is, 436 probably, which is pretty small. And I take it and I thread the end of it. You run that die over the coat hanger like that. Just keep spinning it, and that'll give you a thread. You spin it down about 3/4, and that'll give you a thread where you could just screw your knob right onto the coat hanger, because that's going to be pushed through your fascia. Also, you want to keep in mind, it doesn't matter which direction the turnout is facing, as long as you have the switch is parallel to the fascia, because you want a 90-degree angle for your throw rod to work. Now you can see where I have the white lines here giving me pretty close to a 90-degree angle. And this you can mount them different ways. I have a spade connector on this one. Let me see. Okay, there it is. You see it's got a hole in it, and it's a pretty small spade connector. But that spade connector, if you take it and bend it like that, you can actually slide it if you want to mount it, because this is quite a distance here. If you want to mount it closer, you can mount it, spin it around like that, and you can mount it right over your wire just like that. And what that'll do, and of course you'll have your throw rod in this direction, and it'll eliminate that distance that you have there. You can also mount them, which I did do a couple of times. You can mount them on the fascia as well, or not on the fascia, but on the the crossbar. If you want to mount them differently, then you'd have you just point it toward toward your wood, and you can operate the switch that direction as well. So like I say, they work very well for me. I've been the cost of it is what's nice about this is you can get everything you need either at the hobby store or the hardware store. I then went to the hobby store for the 47,000 music wire, and and the toggle switch I got from Jamico Electronics. They cost about $1.75 a piece if you buy 10 of them at a time. And I calculated that the cost of everything is I put 25 of them on the layout. I used one 4-foot piece of aluminum cut to about 2 1/8 inches long, and I got 25 of them out of 4-foot section. So I figured the cost would have been as close, it's about $3.60 a piece. So if you have a lot of turnouts to do, it's probably not worth it to do 1 or 2 of them. But if you've got 20 to 30 of them, or even 10 of them, it's worth it to find a way to bill them cheaper. And so if anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Anybody have any questions for Kurt? That's about as cheap a switch machine as I've seen anybody produce. Really, particularly if you have a medium-sized layout and have a lot of switches, that's a great solution.
Yeah, it works for me. Like I've got 78 turnouts on my layout, and I did buy a lot of switch machines, but some areas, like if in the yards or the industries, you don't really want a switch machine. This is worked out pretty well for me. So,
well, that's great. I didn't know how long this was going to take, Kurt. I didn't know whether you could finish it tonight or needed another segment. So it sounds like you've got this one finished tonight.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And again, if anybody has any questions or anything, Kurt, if you could put your email in the chat function,
Sure.
where they might be able to contact you later.
Okay, great.